Hello everyone who are not indifferent to the massacre that for 20 days already have been committed in my country by Putin's Russian forces. I'm from Kyiv. My name is Ksenia. My American friends call me Alex. And I'm a TV presenter and a journalist of the informational channel of Ukraine. I worked in Kyiv on lead broadcasts until February 24th morning. It's the day the war of Russia against my country began. Until today, I deprived of the opportunity to work because the channel's management decided to stop offline work for the safety of employees. I had to leave for a suburb of Kyiv, it's called the city of Brovary, in order to protect my parents who are pensioners and cannot cope with the new reality of military life in their own. Nevertheless, I want to be useful as possible in my profession in order to help convey all the up-to-date and important information about the situation both in my city and other regions of Ukraine. The city of Brovary at this moment, as you could see in the stories of your TV companies, TV channels, is one of the epicenters of events, as it is the entrance gate in one of the directions to left bank of Kyiv city. Around the place where I am now, right in this video, there are daily battles along the perimeter of the entire city of Brovary in the nearest villages. The city lives under military regime and curfew restrictions with all the ensuing consequences for the locals. Everyone fears the daily threat of direct shelling and bombing, but people remain in their homes and are ready to defend their land in any form. I really want our friends in the United States to have access to first-hand information from the real stories of our people who were and will be deprived of their usual life, homes, peace, and for many of whom this hell that Putin's Russia creates on my land can become and has already become a tragedy, taking the lives of loved ones and relatives. I will talk about all the horrors that are happening in the cities of Ukraine taken under blockade, about those who are forced to live for weeks in the basements, hiding from constant bombardments. You can see a lot of news of your TV channels and Telegram channels, but there are things that even in the news can be missed or presented in the wrong context. I will adhere to the principles of journalism and rely on specific facts, but forgive me my emotions. There will be too, because in wartime this is a psychological defense, and I hope you will understand and forgive me for this. So I want to tell you how vilely not only Putin's military machine, but also the information one works, telling you the case of a specific example that has spread all over the world news during this day and the previous day. And as you will now understand, having achieved partially set goals by Russia's propaganda. We're talking about the so-called protest of the editor of informational programs on the first federal channel of Russia, which burst into the frame of a live news broadcast with a poster calling for an end to the war in Ukraine. Many people like me actually, by the first emotions, touched by the first emotions, bought it, I'd say. This is like next operation, special operation of the Russian information troops. And me too was at first surprised at such, let's say, courage, aching to self-sacrifice, and shared this fragment from Russian television on their Facebook accounts, just like all the world news channels did, actually.
Сотрудничеству в рамках союзного государства, а на совещании в правительстве обсуждали, как сохранить доступ.
When the wave of emotions subsided, a logical question arose. How could a person who had been pouring lies for 80 years, zombifying Russian society, blessing for a war with Ukraine, suddenly changed her view so radically and risked her life for the good of the world. Having collected all the contextual information about this girl and about the event itself and the consequences, the pictures formed into a real result. So further, I will simply voice for you the material of my fellow journalists about the goal and real consequences of yesterday's show with an activist in the frame of Russian television. Without emotions, just facts for your conclusion about what Russia is capable of in terms of media and about how there is no truth in this essentially already damned place. So here we go. The journalist Marina Daniluk published on her Facebook the following line of the events that I just mentioned. So I'm just trying to read it word for word. What an interesting story how the appearance of a woman with a poster on the first channel helped the Rushists stay with the brands such as Nurofen, Strepsils, Gaviscon, Durex, Vanish, Calgon, Clearasil, and others. And as the British Imperial Tobacco, just after this demonstration, decided not to leave the Russian market, change its position, transfers assets and operations in Russia to a local legal entity. I'll start with Imperial Tobacco. From the official release today, I quote, "We employ 1,000 people in Russia who are engaged in sales and marketing, as well as our plant in Volgograd. And their safety and well-being is our key priority in this process." Then, blubbering on to support Ukrainian colleagues who were helped with housing and resettlements. Well, like you have a war in Ukraine, but good Russians need help and income. And now about another company called Rekit Bankisier, one of the leaders in the field of household chemicals, health products and personal hygiene. This includes, as I mentioned already, Nurofen, Strepsils, Gaviscon, Durex, Calgon, Clearasil, and other brands. First-hand information from Karen Ukrainians from the head office. Thus, the appearance of Ovsyannikova on Russian TV, this is girl from with this paper of saving Ukraine, stop war. So, the appearance of Ovsyannikova on Russian TV and her appearance in Twitter, trends, and Western media allowed tolerant managers to defend the right to supply Russians with detergents in tablets. This position, like we cannot leave opposition people in Russia without our support and products. This type of position without access to detergent, Russists will be very bad from their point of view. This is almost a tragedy of the whole nation. In description for this video, I add the original of the posts and some links there relate to officials of the companies just mentioned by me with their positions that are published publicly. So you will help us a lot if you are also armed with information and understanding of real threats in all spheres globally that may come out from Russia. Be vigilant and not indifferent. I also know that you have many questions, and I'll be glad if you write them to me. I will try to make new videos as quickly as possible with the help of your questions as well. So, thank you for your attention and support. Glory to Ukraine. Слава Украине!
Я хочу поблагодарить всех за поддержку, друзья, коллеги. Это была действительно очень сложные дни в моей жизни, потому что я провела буквально 2 суток без сна, больше 14 часов длился допрос, и мне не давали не связаться с моей